screen. Let me know if it's visible. Can anyone confirm?
Yeah.
Okay. So till now we have seen data types, operators, and string manipulation. Okay. And apart from installation and other thing. So today we will start with the list, tuples, and dictionary. Okay. So in all the things that we do in future for storing anything, mainly uh, in if you write any script, so in that somehow you will find the list, tuple, or dictionary, one of them or maybe all of them. So let's say we have we have seen variables, right? Let's say if a is a variable and we can store any number, or inside a is a variable, and inside that we can store a string, any data type, right? A string, int, float, and boolean, any data type we can store, okay, inside a variable a. But and this is a single value. So let's say if we have to store multiple values in a variable, for that we use a list, tuples, or dictionary. Okay, so in list, first let's say if I list, tuple, and dictionary. So for each one there is a different bracket. So bracket in the sense, so for list we use a square bracket. For tuple we use a round bracket, and for dictionary we use a curly bracket. Okay, so this is the main difference when we create a list, tuples, or dictionary in terms of storing a number inside a, or multiple things inside a variable. So for if you have to create a list, all the things will be inside a square bracket. If you have to create a tuple, all the things will be inside a round bracket, and for dictionary it will be inside a curly bracket. Okay, now so let's start with list. Okay, so as I said, so let's say if a is a variable and I want to create a list. So first I have put a square bracket. Inside a square bracket you can put, let's say if you want to store two number only, so let's say 20 and 40. Let's say you inside a you want to store two number 20 and 40, then these two numbers should be separated by a comma. Okay, that is the thing. So this is a two number. So let's say if I want to store a number as well as a string, that is also possible. So let's say if I create a new variable and inside that I want to create a different things, means I want to store different data types. So let's say if I create a 20 and then let's say string also I want to store, then so first is a 20 is a number, then comma, then this is another thing that I want to store in this variable b, and let's say I want to store true as well. Okay, so true is basically a boolean, and so now we have an integer, string, boolean, and let's say 20.3. Maybe another number I want to store 19. let's say Suraj, I want to store. So I can store any number of variable or any number of data, and it can be repetitive as well. So let's say, for example, 20 can repeat in the same list. That is also possible. So in list, so you can consider list as a container where you can store any number of data type, any number of data type. For example, list, it can be a string, int, float, or mm, string, int, float, and boolean. Okay, so you can store any number of things. Okay, now there are some properties of list. Uh, Properties of list. In every interview they ask what is this is one of the property that is called it as a mutable. So that is a one property. Then it is ordered, and then it can be repetitive, or and last property, it can be extended. I will explain all these things one by one. So there are four properties: mutable, ordered, it can be repetitive, it can be extended. Okay, so let's go to the notebook. There I will show you the examples. Okay. Hmm. So for creating a list, uh, if you see, so there are two methods to create a list. One means if you have to create an empty list. Empty list means there is nothing inside that, and later later part of your program you want to basically add something on that. So initially you start with, okay, you have created one variable and that is empty, and so it is like creating a container which is empty, and later on you can put anything that you want. Okay, so there are two ways to basically create a list. One, directly you can put a square bracket and nothing inside there, and it is not necessary that you start with empty list. You can directly start with even creating, adding some numbers or variables directly. But yeah, so that also possible. So for creating empty list, so there are two ways. One is directly use a square bracket and nothing inside that. Other way is use a list and then curly bracket, round bracket, to basically create a list. So if you want to, let's say, it may be confusing. So let's say empty list one I write and empty list two. Okay. So let's say if I want to, first I run this cell. Okay, shift enter. Then let if we print this one. So this output is this is square bracket empty list. If I print this one, that should also be the same. Okay, so both in both way you can create a list. Okay, so Next, let's say, so let's say there are three variables. Okay, fruit is one variable, number is other variable, and mixed is a other variable. Okay, so in first example, if you see fruits, okay, so inside that there are three strings, and each strings are separated by comma. So if you have to store a string, if you have to store a string, then means these are the way by which you can create a or store there. These are few examples by which you can store either a string, number, or mix of number. So if you see in the first example, only strings is there. In second, numbers, all are numbers. So if I take the mix one, let's say. Okay, so here if you see, the first is a, this is a string, then this is a number, integer, then 3.14 is a float, then this is a boolean, and then this is a again a list. So so inside a list you can also add a list as well. Okay, so this is a list, and inside that 1 2 3, that this is also a list. Okay, so inside a container also you can add one more container, that is also possible. Okay, so this is how we can add any number, or we can store multiple values in a single variable. So mixed is a single variable, and you can store any number of uh, things here. Okay, so first let's say if I want to access simply, let's say first if I print this one mixed, so inside mixed these are the value that are stored. Okay, now let's say if I have to access any of the values. Okay, so before that, um, let's say if you create any variable, okay, and inside you put 1 a b 3 and let's say uh, 9. Okay, and so there is some thing called indexing. So indexing is basically a position. Okay, so in Python, so first element we called it as a 0. We start from 0. So this basically representing 0th position, then 1 2 3 4. Okay, so at 0th position 1 is stored, at one position D is stored, and at second position B is stored, and similarly other. So this is going from left to right. Okay, there is other indexing as well. So that is from right to left. So here 9 can be also be treated as -1. So it is a -1, then -2, then -3, -4, -5. Okay, so uh, let's say if you have to access one, okay, one element. So if I use a 0 thing, then it can be a of 0. A of 0 will be equal to, the output will be 1. And so this is using going from left to right. Okay, if you have to access using right to left, then a of -5, that output will also be 1. Okay, so let's check this. Um, okay, let's say create one variable a equal to 1, then d, then again comma b, then 3 comma 9. Let's check. So first let's run this one. Okay, now inside a 1db39 is there. Okay, and let's say, so if I use a left to right approach, so where start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's see a of 0. So see, so in a of 0 means if I have to access this one from this variable a, so I can simply write a of 0. Okay, let's say if I have to access 3, can anyone tell what should I write here?
A under the bracket 4
A,
and then 4.
why? This should be wrong,
Or
but
three. No, 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 sir. It's 3 all. 3, 3, 3.
okay. Yeah. So 3 is the right thing. Okay. So 0, 3 is at which position? 0, uh, 1, 2, 3. So 3 is at 3 at the index. Okay. So let's say if I have to use a, uh, right to left approach, and if I have to access B, what should I write? So right to left
Minus
approach
2.
means -1 start
Minus,
from minus. Mhm. Yeah, tell.
minus,
A
minus
of
2.
minus.
I'm not able to hear.
Minus 3.
Minus
Minus
3.
3, sir.
Okay. Minus 3. See. Okay. So this is how you can access these variables. Okay. Yeah. And let's say if I take just a second. Yeah. Now let's use little complicated example. Use this example again. And let's say I can store inside a T. Okay. And T. Okay. So let's say I have created a one variable T, and inside that these are the value that are there. Okay. So let's say if I have to access this thing 1, 2, 3, what should I write? Uh, so 1, 2, 3. So the index, if you can see, so hello is at 0, 42 is at 1, then 3.14 is 2, 3, and this is at 4th. Okay, so t of 4 will be 1 comma 2 comma 3. So let's say I want let's see if again if I write one more thing, ABC simply, and let's say again rerun the thing. Okay, so now inside T there is a mm, same thing, only thing inside list, one more thing that I have added is ABC. Okay, so let's say T of 4 is now 1 comma 2 comma 3 ABC. Now my target is to access this one ABC. Can anyone tell? Okay, so it can be accessed T of 4 to access this thing, right? And now ABC inside that 1, 2, 3 ABC. So 1 is at 0, 2 is at 1, 3 is at 2, and ABC is at 3. So I can write 3. Okay, so this way you can access the value inside a list. There is another list, and you can access the value of that list as well at a specific position. So let's say if you have to um, let's say in this list, if you have to access 2, what should I write? Anyone? Try. It may be wrong.
T
Not.
T
Huh.
for
Uh, one.
T4 1. T4 1.
Correct. T4 1. So this way you can access this value as well. Okay. And yeah. So this way you can access the element of a list. Okay. Um, okay. Same thing. Okay. So again, let's say print T just to have visibility. Okay. So let's say if you have to, if I put 1 and then 3. Okay. So what does it mean? Let's uh, first run this thing and then we'll see. Okay. So now you have put T1 and then colon and then 3. Okay. So 1 and 3 are basically index. Okay. So at 1st position, if you see in T, what is there? 42. And at 3rd position, what is there? True, right? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's say if I just use a 4. Okay. So what it do? Uh, let me show through. So in T, inside that, if you write, for example, 1 comma 4, 1 colon 4. Okay. So this mean it will give value. Uh, so this is a starting position 1 and 4 will be and minus 1 and minus 1. So what does it mean? So let's say for example T has value 1, 3, 9, 10, 15. Okay. So now if I see, so this is at 0th position 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Yeah. So if I write T 1 to 4, so it will basically access the element start from which position? 1. So 1 is where? Here. 1 to starting position will be 1 and the ending position that 4 is there. So it will consider and minus 1. So and is 4 minus 1 means 3. So it will access this element. So the output will be T of 1, 4. The output will be 3, 9, 10. Okay. Yeah. So again, if you see the example here, so if I write T1 comma 4, let's say 1, 3. So it will start from 1. This is at 1st position and ending position is 3, but it will access and minus 1. So this is at 1, then 2, 3. So 3 minus 1, 2. So it will give output 42, 3.14. Okay. So let's say if I do not mention, let's take another example, T1. And simply if I write this thing, let's see what happens. If I do not mention the ending thing, okay, or ending index, it will consider all the means it will start from 1. After that, all it will consider all the elements inside that. Okay, let's say take 0, then 2, then let's okay. So let's use this one. Yeah. So this is another thing. So it will start from 0, and this is basically a step size. Okay. So step size means, let's say if I have to access the alternate element. Okay. So earlier I said, let's say it was start, then end, and if I write one more column, okay, so it will be a steps. If you do not mention these steps, it will automatically consider every as a one step size as a one. What does it mean? So again, let's give it one example. So let's say t is a 5, 13, 19, 1, 10, 5, 8. Okay. So let's say first, let's say do the indexing. So this is at 0th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So let's say if I write t of 0, so this will be starting. Then I write 6. Okay. And then I write 2. Okay. So here, if I compare this with this, so starting position is 0, ending position is 6, and step size is 2. Okay. So here also end will be end minus 1. Okay. Always remember end. Uh, so end will be end minus 1. Okay. So here the output should be, it will first take 5. Okay. Then it will 5, then is it will skip 1, 2, and then 19, then 10, then yeah, 5, 19, 10, because sixth it will not consider because that is a n minus 1. Okay, so the output will be 5, 19, 10. If I write, let's say if I take another example where I write 0, um, and if I do not mention the end, and directly after that if I mention 3. Okay, so what it will do, so it will start from 0. So 0 is 5, then third one, so it will count this as 1, then 2, and 3, after that 1. So 5, 1, then next third element, so it will be 8. So 5, 1, 8 will be output for this one. Okay, so 5, 13, 19, 1, 10, 5, 8. Okay, so let's see here also the same thing. So t will be 5, 13, 19, 1, 10, 5, 8, 18, 24, 36. Okay. So let's say if I have to mm, okay, first store this in inside a t. So now inside a t, these are the things that is present. Okay, so let's say if I ask you 3, and so what will be the output? From where it will start? Anyone?
1.
1. And till what point it will, means the output will be? Can anyone?
It will start from 1 and ends with 36.
Correct. So 1, 10, 5, 8, 24, 36. Okay. So because here I haven't mentioned the endpoint. Okay, so let's say if I mention the endpoint as 7. Okay, then what it will print? So it will start from 3. So 3rd position will be 0, 1, 19 at 2, 1 is at 3. Okay, then end minus 1. So 7 is ending point. So till what point it will print? 6. Okay, so 1 is at 3, 10 is at 4, 5 is at 5, and 8 is at 6. So if I print, so 1, 10, 5, 8. Always remember the index means initial index it will consider, but the last index or the, let's say 7. So 3 is a start, 7 is the end. So it will print end minus 1. And minus 1 index, not a number. Okay, so 7 is index, so 7 minus 1 means 6th index, so it will start from 3rd index to 6th index. Okay, so 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th, so that is why 1, 10, 5, 8. Anyone having any doubt on this? Okay.
Sir, suppose we give the starting index and then we leave the end index and directly give the that step size, then we will get the output.
Yeah, you will get the output because see, let's say first try with simple one, 3, and you are not giving any index. You are not giving any ending index, so what it will do, it will first print all the things. Okay, now you want to start from, let's say 3, and you are not giving the ending index, and again you put one more column. Okay, and here let's say if you are giving the step size. Okay, so what it will do, so if you see here, third to last means, if you do not providing any index, so it will start from initial and it will print all the things that are inside there, but it starting from the index that you are given. Now let's say here you have given the starting things, then not giving the ending index, and then you are giving the step size. So here the step size is 2. So that it does mean that it should print 1, 5, 18, 36. So let's see, 1, 5, 18, 36. Yeah. Yeah. Any other doubt on this? Okay. Okay. Now let's say mm, if you want to add anything in the list. Okay. So this is a, let's say this is a list. Okay, fruits, and you want to add something to this list. Okay, so one way is to simply put fruit dot append, and you can add one string or anything that you want to store inside this uh, fruit. Okay, earlier it was, let's say if I print this one, so right now it is stored apple and banana. Let's see if I want to add orange as well in this list. So simply fruits dot append, and let's say if I print this one, fruits. Okay, so 2 times I run, because of that it let's say again if I run, yeah. So now fruits dot append orange. So it store added orange in this list. Okay, yeah. So this property we called it as a mutable. Mutable means you can once you have created a list, you can add, means you can extend, and you can, let's say if you want to replace uh, for example fruits of 0. let's say fruits of 0 means what it has? Apple. Let's say instead of apple, you want to basically replace with mango. Okay. So, and let's say if you see now the fruit means you have replaced apple with mango. So that you can change, right? So this property we called it as a mutable. So in list you can change if you have anything that is already there, you can overwrite the same index value with another value. Okay. So in fruits 0 means at 0th position, I want to basically store this one. So this will overwrite apple to with mango. Okay. Yeah. Uh, so you have, let's say if you, again, let's see fruits dot append and fruits dot append, and if I again want to add some grapes, let's say, okay, in this list, and again if I print, see now the mango, banana, orange, grapes. Okay, so if you use append method, it will add, let's say if I want to add grapes, so what it does, so it add, let's say mango, banana, orange, so it will add at the last index if you go from left to right. Okay, so it will store at the last index. Okay, let's say if I have to store without replacing, if I want to store at some other index. Okay, so for that there is a insert method. uh, let's see by example what does it mean. So let's say here I write chiku. Okay, and fruits dot insert in the index position that I have given is 1. So mango is at 0th, banana is at 1th index. Similarly, orange is at 2 and grapes is at 3. Let's see what happen if I run this thing. See, so it has a in this case it doesn't override that thing. Only it add Chiku at 1th index at position 1. Okay, I will call index as a position from now. So so there one if you don't need add, means if you want to add anything and you do not want any particular position, in that case you can use append. But if you want to add anything in particular position, for that you can use insert method. So that is the difference between append and insert. Okay. uh, One more thing, that is a extend. Let's say if you have to add a multiple elements. Okay, so let's say here mango is already there. uh, Papaya. Let's if you want to add, hmm, if you want to add papaya and kiwi both, so for that, since this is a multiple element, if there is a single element, you don't have to use the list here. Okay, to add anything. uh, let's see if you have fruit dot insert at 1 chiku, so it will, it add here at 1th index. Okay, there also you can add list, but um, so that will be at index position if I fruit dot insert 1 and if I use list to add there. So first let's see fruits dot extend, and if you have to add multiple elements at one go. Okay, so you have use so there will be a bracket, a round bracket inside that list thing. Okay, and you can add fruits. See, So now papaya and kiwi. So this is at last position. This get added. Okay. So let's say if I do the same thing with this one, instead of Chiku, let's say if I want to add a list here. Okay. And papaya, kiwi, let's say. Let's see what happens. Yeah. See. So this get added at position 1. But at position 1, this pep and kiwi, it add the list here. Okay. But in earlier case, it doesn't create a list. It simply add this element. But now if we use a insert at 1, it will simply paste this list here. Okay. So that is the difference. Yeah. Extend. Okay. So one more way to add, let's say, so now let's say if I create one, 2, 1, 2, comma 3, and b equal to 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And let's say if I write c equal to a plus b, sorry, a plus b. Anyone want to guess what will be c? Anyone?
It will be list starting from 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6.
Correct. So it will be like this. Okay. So this is how, this is also other way to basically, if you want to combine a list, this is this is the other way as well. You can combine the list. Okay. No. So let's say this operation, adding operation completed. Let's say if you want to remove this thing. Okay. So let's first print this one and fruits. Let's see if inside a fruit. So these are the thing that is there. Okay. And let's say if you want to remove from these fruits dot remove, and you want to remove, let's say orange, and so fruits. And what problem is, actually I run multiple times, so because of that it creating a problem. So instead of orange, because if I print fruits, there is no orange. Okay, because I run multiple times this thing. So let's choose kiwi. Okay, and say now it removed the kiwi. Okay, so kiwi was at here. So just to if you want to remove any element, you can use this to remove things. Okay, and 3. Let's try this one. So now inside a C, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 3. So let's say if I want to remove C dot remove. Okay, and if I write 3, let's see what happened, because there are multiple 3. Okay, so what it does, it remove 1. Okay, it hasn't removed both 3, it remove one of them. Okay, yeah. So if repetitive element is there, and if you use a remove option, and if you let's say here and there was 2 3, so if you given 3, it will remove only one of them, okay, at a time.
Sir, one question I had.
Mhm. Yeah.
Sir, while doing this append operation and this remove operation,
Mhm.
I did it. For example, in the list of fruits, I wrote kiwi 5 times. I mean, I appended it one time, but that particular cell of code in which I wrote it, I ran it. I ran it. I mean, I executed it many times. So as
Mhm.
many times I executed it, as I mean, those were the number of kiwis I got in the output. Similarly, it
Right.
happened in the remove also. I removed it. I mean, I executed that cell multiple times,
Mhm.
which had the fruits dot remove kiwi code, and
Mhm.
that many times the kiwi fruit got removed from the list.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
So
suppose if I want to write a code and I want it only one time, then is there anything?
means in one go you want to remove all the um, kiwi item.
No, suppose I have three kiwi in my list. I
Uh,
want to remove only one kiwi, but as many times I will run the code, it will remove one kiwi. So I want as many times I run the code, the removed kiwi shall only be one. I mean, it should not be repeated.
but here also, let's say if I remove 3, okay, so it remove only
Hmm.
one times.
Uh,
If
uh,
you
uh,
see, if you see here in C, C
hmm,
variable, so 3
hmm.
is double times, right? 2 times 3
Yeah,
is there. But if I
yeah.
done C dot remove 3, so it remove
Hmm.
only one 3, not both 3.
So if you again execute that remove c dot remove, again execute that code.
So then it will remove another 3.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So for that you have to put certain condition. Okay.
Okay.
That we will learn later when we will see loop, other if else condition. So yeah, so there
Okay.
we will see. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Huh. Yeah. So by removing uh, we can remove anything. Now let's see. First, let's see what is inside fruits. So inside fruits, these are the things that is present right now. So let's say if I use pop method, okay, last fruit. So in pop method, that is also a one way to basically uh, see. So if you do fruits dot pop, okay, so it will extract the last element from that list, but it will not modify the list. For example, you have used fruits dot pop, okay. Let's say what is inside fruits. Okay, sorry, my bad. Uh, so it extract the last element from that list and store inside a variable that you have given. Okay, so earlier papaya was there and now it removed that and store inside a last fruit. Okay, yeah. So here you haven't given any index. So let's say if I create one more variable, first fruit, okay, and I simply write. So first fruit is mango, okay, and simply if I write fruit dot pop, and if I write the index, so mango is at index 0. So or maybe let's say chiku if I want. So chiku is at index 0, 1, then 2. So I can simply use and let's say first fruit. Uh, okay, see. So now I have used pop with index, so it will extract the particular element. from that list. So if I see again, so chiku has also been removed from the list. Okay, so pop can be useful when you want to remove certain remove element based on index, not on values. Okay, so earlier when we use a remove method, in that we have to give the value. So value is like chiku, banana, all these are values, and index is or position is like these are the position that we have given in pop method. Okay, and if you want to clear, let's say if you want to delete any uh, deletes, so let's say fruits come, so it will delete the fruits. Okay, and fruits dot clear, it will remove all items, means it will make the list empty. For example, if you see fruits dot clear fruits, so now the fruits get clear, it become empty. Okay, so this is how you can use if you want to remove anything or clear anything. These are the basically some of the method that you can use. Okay, and okay, so let's see this one as well. Huh. So in this let's say, so now inside a fruit, these are the things that are there. Now this I have already shown how to basically add anything inside a list. So fruits at one index, I want to basically store grapes. Okay, so if I uh, run this again to see, so now at one index, grape is there. Earlier it was banana. Okay, now if you want to store basically multiple things inside a list, okay, using this, so this is the starting position and end minus one. So 0 and minus 1 means that is a 2 minus 1. So 0, 1. So at 0th and 1 index, it will store mango and kiwi. Yeah. So mango, kiwi, it is stored. Okay. Yeah. So few more operations. So let's say I write this is, let's say if I write store inside a n. Okay, and let's say if I want to know how many elements are present inside this list. So let's say in this, how many elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 elements are present inside this list. So just to knowing through code, so I can use command len and then the variable. So len means length. So if you use len, it will throw out, okay, uh, how many variables, how many elements is stored inside this list. Okay, okay. Then if you want to, let's say, want to count something, let's say if you want to count um, 1, maybe how many times 1 is present, so it will count, and 1 is present 2 times. Okay, so let's say I want to know how many times 6 is present. So 6 is present only 1 times. Okay, and let's say if I want to know the index, so n dot index, and if I want to see, let's say 5 is at with position, or let's say 4 if I check. So 4 we can see, so 4 is present at 0, 1, 2. So it should throw 2. Okay. Also you can reverse the list. Let's say n dot sort. First, let's say if I want to sort, n dot sort, and if I say, so this has been sorted from one, means earlier it was like this, okay, but now it sorted in uh, increasing order or ascending order. Okay. Uh, let's say I want to reverse, n dot reverse, and if I, let's say, print n. So now earlier it was 1, 1, 2, 3. So now it reverse from right to left. So 9 came into first position, then 6 similarly other. Okay. So these are the few operation that you can do. Okay. And let's say first, let's say print n. So in n, these are the value that are present. Let's say, for example, if I want to find uh, 10 in n. Okay. So just let's say if I, right now the list length is 8. Let's say if it is 100. Okay. And I have to see whether that particular value is present or not. So for that, I can choose this method. So for example, let's say 4 is present. Okay. So it will, if I write 4 in n, so n is a variable. Inside that there are many things, right? I want to check whether 4 is present inside this list or not. So for in n, just to knowing this thing, I can write this command and it should return true or false, whether that thing is present or not. Okay. So since 4 is present, it write true. Okay. So this command is very helpful in some cases. Okay. Where to just to check whether particular thing is present or not. So simply we can write the value that we want to see in n. Okay. So this is basically about a list. Okay. Uh, huh. So now again let's come to the properties of list.
Excuse me, sir.
Ha,
Excuse me.
ha, ha, ha.
Like, can you just repeat that index 4? Like, how that output 2 came?
Which one?
Index 4 you have given input. Yeah,
Mhm,
that one.
mhm. Yeah. So 4 is at fifth position. If you see
Okay, it will
inside,
give the index number.
yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So let's again come back to property of list. So first is most important property is mutable. Mutable, you can change the value. Let's say if you create a list, you can mm, mutable means basically change. If you, the synonyms can be change. Okay. So let's say if you create any list, the meaning of this is if you create any list, okay, either you can extend this list or modify this list, modify the values or add items. Okay. Means let's say if you create any variable, you can any point you can change those variable, means you can change the value inside those that variable, and also you can extend the list. So let's say for example initially start with 3 element, you can increase up to any number of element. And similarly, let's say if you store any value, let's say 1 2 3, and later you want to, instead of 2 you want to put 9, that also you can do. So that is basically about mutable. Okay, second property is ordered collection. Ordered collection. So ordered collection means not a sorted, means sorted or descending or ascending order. The order collection means it is a, it having an index. Anything you can, if you want to extract anything, you can easily access those things through position or index thing. Okay, so that uh, that is the meaning of basically ordered collection. Okay, yeah, so these are the these mainly this is these two are the main properties of list. So in interview they ask what is means difference between list and tuples. uh, so list is a mutable and tuples is immutable. So in next class we will see what is tuples. Okay, so I am planning to take tomorrow, um, as well as means tomorrow class as well. uh, uh, s- because for Python I want to complete the thing fast, little faster. Okay, so yeah, so tomorrow also we will have a class. Till now, any doubt? Anyone? Anything related to today's class or previous class as well?
Hello, sir.
Haha.
Sir, can we create tuples inside the list and dictionaries inside list, or list inside dictionary, tuples
you,
inside dictionary, like that?
you can create anything inside thing. I will come in means when I will teach tuples and dictionary. Okay, there, but inside a
Yes.
list you can add a list, list tuples, anything you can add. Even you can add dictionary inside a list, that is also possible.
Okay. And what is the use case of, I mean, tuples? If yeah, I mean, if it is not immutable, then in what kind of,
I
what kind of
haven't
use
teach
cases?
I haven't teach tuples till now, right?
Okay,
Means
okay,
I
okay,
haven't
sir. Yes,
started.
yes,
uh,
yes,
when I
yes,
will
yes.
teach I will give you the example and where we can use. uh, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
uh,
Sir, can you give a real life use case of list?
Means the timing,
I mean,
I have
I
created
mean,
some examples. Real life use
okay.
case when you mm, you don't have idea about Gen AI, right? For now.
Yes,
So
yes.
because of that, I have created few example where the time doesn't permit. Otherwise, I can tell from Gen AI perspective where we will
Okay.
use tuples. Okay. If you see, I have created few of the example. So in next
Yes.
class, I will definitely I will show where we will use in Gen AI. Okay.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Mhm. Okay. So
Thank you, sir.
huh. Anything else from anyone? Okay, so the recording, everyone getting the recording? Anyone facing some difficulties on accessing those recordings? Okay, I'm also adding all the notebook in the sense the code in the GitHub. From there, you can download for your practice and try to practice as much as possible. If at least try to execute the cells that I have shared. Okay, so only by doing practice only you will know. Because in class when you see, the general feeling is like, okay, we are learning and we able to understand. We understand, but uh, the learning is very low when you do it by yourself after uh, completion of the class. Then you learn uh, what are the problems, and also you can experiment with the Means let's say if you have any doubt, okay, uh, whether this will add up or how it will happen or what will be the output, we can definitely, you can do the experiment by yourself. Okay, that will help to clear your doubt. And so practice is means learning Gen AI or Python is by doing practice, only practice, hands on. Okay, not pen paper, directly go to machine and write code. So that is the best way to learn Python or Gen AI. Okay, yeah. So I hope anyone, you don't have any doubt.
Sir, one more thing. Suppose we are attending the classes, then how should we prepare the notes? I mean, I'm doing it both ways. I'm also preparing in my notebook, I mean, copy, and also in the system in a separate notebook. So, how should we do it in the most effective way?
So first, always start with machine. Write code in Jupyter Notebook. Once try different. Let's say in a 1 hour class, it's not possible to try or cover all the variation. So you can try if you anything that okay, what will happen if I add this one? Okay, so that you can try in your notebook and see what output you are getting. Okay, once you have the clarity on okay, this concept I know, now I have some understanding on that, then you can create your own notes. Okay, but initially directly start with Jupyter Notebook.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so thanks everyone, that's it for today's class.